It's that time of year again for our annual top 10 most valuable Marvel Legends, but this year is slightly different. How's it different, Big Nerdy? Well, specifically, we're using a slightly different methodology to get more accurate calculations. And the figure that came in number 1 has never been part of any top 10 video I've ever done. So yeah. How's that for a teaser? Hey boss, that fat nerdy YouTuber's on again. Yeah, he's making another most valuable video. Yeah, I'm gonna take notes so that we can figure out what figures we should remake next year because people will pay more for them. Because we're greedy. What's up, everybody? My name's Matt, often called Big Nerdy. You are the NWO, the Nerd World Order. And together, this is Nerdzoic. Thanks for tuning into the show. On this channel, we help you take a break from all the craziness of life and just dive back into that nostalgic stuff we love, and usually it starts with action figures. So for this video, we are looking at the most valuable Marvel Legends ever made. So a couple things you need to know. First off, not including Build-A-Figures. Second off, we're looking at percent growth, not overall dollars, or else we'd be looking at HasLabs, basically. Next thing to know, we're only including Marvel Legends proper, so no Spider-Man Classics, Spidey 2099, no Fantastic Four Classics, Dragon Man, no Pit Build-A-Figure from Legendary Heroes, which isn't even Marvel Legends anyway, but hey, I'm putting a disclaimer out there. Another thing, we didn't include any variants in this countdown, so no Wasp from Toy Biz. We got all of these metrics and numbers from Action Figure 411, which takes completed sold eBay listings and aggregates them together. Now you might be asking yourself,
why does this matter? I only care about the toys. It's not about the money, man. It's about the toys.
Listen, it matters because knowing market value, knowing the market, understanding where you can find value on what you buy is how you can build the collection of your dreams easier and cheaper. So basically what I'm saying is, it's okay to talk price. Don't feel dirty about it. This video has become a fall tradition for nerds, kind of like pumpkin spice lattes are for basic white women. And I'm not gonna lie, I've grown to love doing the research and putting this list together. Now, every year I get comments asking, hey Big Nerdy, can you do a loose countdown? Or they'll say, hey, it's not really the figure that's valuable, it's actually the bath piece that people want. It's really hard to actually do that research, but I figured out a way. So typically, loose Marvel Legends go for about 20 to 30% less than they do sealed. So what I did is I compared loose and mint and box listings for certain figures, and if that number was more than that 20 to 30%, I dug deeper. I'd look at the Build-A-Figure and see if that Build-A-Figure was going for buku bucks, and if it was, that created a short list, and I take that short list and I go and I look at the Build-A-Figure, and if that Build-A-Figure was going for buku bucks, I knew this figure's only on the list because people want the bath piece. So boom, that made me exclude some figures that would normally be in this countdown. I'm gonna tell you what they are right now. So leading the list of figures that are excluded due to their Build-A-Figure piece driving the value up, first we have The End Hulk, and no, I'm not talking about that crappy The End movie that Seth Rogen made. This figure has a piece of the infamous Fing Fang Foom Build-A-Figure, so of course it's going for crazy money. Next up are some figures from the Spider-Man 3 Sandman Build-A-Figure wave. For some reason, that Build-A-Figure sought after, at least according to eBay it is. But the Amazing Spider-Man, the Black Suit Spider-Man, and the New Goblin, all of those did not get included in the list because it seems like the value is getting driven up by that Sandman piece, because loose, these figures aren't going for anywhere near that price. Then there's the Wendigo figure, who looks a little bit like my wife before coffee in the morning, who is also getting its value shot up thanks to the bath piece. All of these figures would have been in like the top 5 or 6-ish of the list if I had included them. Now let's look at some figures that fell out of the top 10 that were in it last year. First of all, Tigra. Now, she would have been excluded from the list anyway because she has the like super rare Nemesis head to the Build-A-Figure, so she was getting driven up artificially, but even so, she dropped 40 bucks this year to $96, which I'm sure probably has something to do with the fact that we got a new Tigra figure. Then there's my dream lady, Emma Frost. She dropped to number 13 on the list. She's down to $100, which is like $51 cheaper than last year. Then there's a She-Hulk figure. Now, again, this is a Fing Fang Foom Build-A-Figure piece figure, say that 10 times fast. She dropped from $200 to just $91, so big drop. I don't know why, maybe people saw the show. I'm just kidding. If you like the show, that's okay, but I didn't like the show. All right, here we go. Coming in at number 10 is the Toy Biz Blade. This is part of Series 5. It was released in 2003, and it's going for $68. And since it started off at $10, that is a 586% increase. This is the first time this figure has ever been in a value countdown, so congratulations, Toy Biz Blade. This also marks the only pre-MCU Wesley Snipes movie Blade, so you could actually double him as Simon Phoenix if you're playing Demolition Man. You just need to bleach his hair some. So interestingly, this figure went for like $30 or $40 for like a decade after it came out. Then a few months after the show was announced in 2019, yep, you guessed it, and I can't imagine we're ever gonna get another Wesley Snipes Blade. I mean, how many Ed Norton, Eric Bana Hulks do you see? So yeah, if you want this, woo, you're gonna have to pay up because it's pretty valuable now. Previously in the number 10 spot was the Hobgoblin. We'll talk more about him in a second, probably. Coming in at number 9 is the Toy Biz Doc Ock. This was part of Series 8. It came out in 2004. This one's going for $69, which is a 595% increase. Much like the Blade figure previously mentioned, this Doc Ock figure is making its first appearance in a countdown.
Hello, Peter.
Oh hey, but my name's not Peter, it's Matt. If I remember correctly, this is the only Doc Ock figure with bendy tentacles. Look, Hasbro, they make him windy, but you can't change him. It makes people sad. Like Shartimus, he says about this all the time. This figure has a weird sales history. So it peaked at $62 back in 2020 when everyone had that COVID stimulus money. Then in 2021, it dropped into the high 30s. But then, for whatever reason, it started to skyrocket at the end of the summer last year, almost like Doc Ock was going to be in a Spider-Man. Oh wait, he was. Previously in the number 9 spot was Superior Venom, who dropped all the way back to number 17, and he's down to just $102. Coming in at number 8 is the Wrecker. He's part of the Rocket Raccoon Build-A-Figure wave. He came out in 2013, and he's currently going for $111, which, based off of his, I believe, $14.99 retail price, that's a 642% increase. The Wrecker is moving up in the world. Last year, he was down to like number 19 and missed the countdown video. The year before that, he was at number 10, but look at him, number 8. Good job, baby. Weirdly, the Wrecker's had major ups and downs over the past 2 years, with peaks as high as $150 and valleys down near $70. Now, if you didn't know, the Wrecker first appeared in Fantastic Four number 7 back in 1964. His origin story is a pretty interesting one. He actually started off as a McDonald's grill cook who, after a frying oil accident, gained all these special powers. He can levitate, and he can shoot firebolts out of his butt, and he can do all this crazy stuff. Those of you who've been around the channel for a while, you know I'm being sarcastic, and it's based off of a major flub that I previously made way back when, calling him Wrecking Crew and not having a clue who he is. I remember when Big Nerdy was very unknowledgeable about Marvel Comics. Last year in this spot was Tigra, who we already discussed. Coming in at number 7 is Hobgoblin. He is part of the Space Venom Build-A-Figure wave. He came out in 2016, and he's going for $149, which is a 642% increase. He came in at number 10 last year, but if I would have filmed the video like a few weeks later than I did, he would have came in even higher, because he blew up and like was peaking near $200 at one point. Now he's a much more reasonable $150. Reasonable? Really? I would love to see a re-release here, but I'm doubting it, because we did just get the Spider-Man Retro Hobgoblin, which in my opinion is a cheap ripoff. Sure, it looks like the cartoon, but there's no texture, there's no depth. It's just dull. So yeah, I could really use a better Hobgoblin on my Spider-Man shelf, but I'm not paying $150 for it. Previously in this spot was the already mentioned and excluded Spider-Man 3 figure that had the Sandman bath. Coming at number 6 is Strife, who came out as part of the Jubilee Build-A-Figure wave back in 2014. She's going for $151, which is an insane 600% increase. This Strife figure has been consistently going between $130 and $170 over the past few years. So with it being the 60th anniversary year of the X-Men, I imagine that this is a figure with a really good shot at getting a redo. In fact, I'm kind of surprised he's not in that first X-Men Retro wave that we're getting next year, but they did at least go and get us some other heavy hitters that needed re-release, like the Dark Phoenix and Spiral, so good on them. Previously in this spot was my aforementioned Lady Emma Frost, who's $51 cheaper than last year. Coming in at number 5 is Mohawk Storm. That's right, this was last year's number 1. She is from the Jubilee Build-A-Figure wave that nobody liked. She came out in 2014, and she's down to $152. Down to? Seriously? Either way, that's a 659% jump. What's not a jump is her drop off in value. She was going for like $225 consistently last year at this time, so that's like $75 off. I never understood understood why this figure was going for so much in the first place, so I guess the market corrected itself. It still doesn't make a ton of sense to me, because there is another Mohawk Storm out there that's not that different. I guess everybody just wants to have like the Mohawk phase Storm though, right? Like, can you imagine Storm's mom talking to her when she was going through this? And she'd be like, Mom, it's not a phase! Coming in at number 4 is Thunderball. He's part of the 𝐼𝐍𝐼𝐻 Zola Build-A-Figure wave. He came back out all the way during the relaunch of 2012. He is going for $124 from his original $15. That is a 724% increase. If my math is right, he is in the exact same spot he was last year at this time. However, he is like $40 cheaper. So as a whole, not good. When I think about it, the price on this figure has come down like a thunderball. Wait, that's a wrecking ball. You're right, I should have just used the James Bond joke. Coming in at number 3 is Spiral. This is from the Target exclusive Red Hulk Build-A-Figure wave that came out way back in 2008. It's going for $140, which is an 834% increase. This was at number 14 last year for $110, so it's gained like $30 over last year, so this one's been moving. I think you can attribute Mutant Goro's growth to the renewed X-Men interest, probably from X-Men 97 and all the talk of the X-Men in the MCU. My guess is that we don't even see this on the top 10 next year because we're getting a new one, so everyone's probably going to want that. Coming in at number 2 is the Toy Biz Deadpool. Yes, really. He's part of Wave 6. He came out in 2004. He is going for $125, which is a 1,151% increase. He didn't even make my final list last year. He was going for around $85, which makes me wonder if I accounted for a retail price correctly last year. Maybe I didn't. Either way, he's here now. Admittedly, this is one of the better Deadpool figures, but I actually like the Juggernaut one best, and I have the retro one only because I wasn't paying for the Juggernaut one, but still, this is a great Deadpool figure. Now, I'm not familiar with the Ghostbusters crossover where we got the Slimer who hangs out with Deadpool here, but sure, why not? Slimer's awesome. Number 1, like I said, never been on any list before, let's do it. Coming in at number 1 is Mr. Fantastic. He is from the Ronin Build-A-Figure wave, which is one of, if not, the first wave of Hasbro figures that came out way back in 2007. He's going for $135, which is a 1,247% increase. Last year, he was nowhere near the list. Looking back, he would have been somewhere in the 30s. He was going for $60, but it's more than doubled since the last countdown. What is going on? Seriously, he even peaked at like $200 in April of this year. Now, this is the same exact outfit as the retro figure that came out last year, and this is Hasbro's only Reed Richards with actual stretchy arms versus the crappy stretchy fingers that we got on the new ones. So maybe people are like, I don't know, are they paying up to get good arms and put them on a new figure? I don't know. Like, seriously, I get prepping for a Galactus display, but yeah, no. I'll just settle for the stretchy fingers instead of stretchy arms until Hasbro figures out how to do it correctly. Then again, you could just go back and get the Toy Biz Mr. Fantastic. Now, they did a great job on the paint job there, but I don't know how expensive it is. Oh wait, I do. Check out this, the top 10 most valuable Toy Biz Marvel Legends. The big question is Mr. Fantastic on there? You're gonna have to watch to find out. Yeah, that's right, I want you to watch another video. But before you do, remember, you have to get old, but you don't have to grow up. Just be cool and stay nerdy. Later.